6 days of pure magic, Human Design Rave Festival 2024.
Yeah, Yogeshwar. You started saying
And
about this annual event, yeah?
yeah. So uh, I just wanted to experience that. What what happens when an individual is honoring his own design and experimenting with life? And then what is the impact? As theoretically, we knew that there is an impact on the actual cellular level vibrations or the frequencies. But then if I am being with me, I may not be able to notice what is changing inside of me. But if I'm with someone, that someone might notice something about me. Having this in mind, then I started asking people that, would you guys like to just be together maybe? So first time when I conducted this community meet, it was only for 4 to 5 hours because I had no idea what am I was going to do. I invited people, I booked one resort, and they came. Even they had no idea why they are coming, but they just came. And I welcomed them. Uh, I tried to make it look like good corporate events, so banner posters, welcome this, that, then food, and so many things. We conducted small interviews of the participants, asking them like, what is your experience so far? How are you finding your life different than it was before human design? And if you have any questions, then in the first community meet, I had one. I was using one wall and I named it as a wisdom wall. And on that wall, I prepared all the wisdoms of open centers. One or two important points out of all the potential points of open centers that I felt that, yeah, these points would resonate more to the participants. Because since I knew their design and I knew their journey, that for how long they are into their experiment. So center wise, and we pasted it. Then during the sessions, in the workshops, basically, I was conducting 2 or 3 days LYD. I began that. There's one place near Pune, near my home, uh, which is on a hilltop. That guy has his own property of almost 100 plus acres. And he has created a jungle there, organic, everything, food is organic, everything. So I found it was really wonderful. So I began conducting my LYDs there. First, I began with 3 days, then I made it 2 days. And for 2 years, I was doing this, maybe 4, 5, 6 batches a year. So all those people, and during that, all those sessions were recorded. And those who were coming for every batch, then they told me before this first community meet that, is it okay if we go through those recording once again and we just pick some lines, some statements, and we turn them into a quotes, and then we can, make a poster out of it, and then we paste it there during the event so people can have a good reminder. So many things we did. People came, people spent their time on the wisdom wall. We had a good Q&A session, then type-wise discussions. We had a dinner, and then people went away. But after they went away, they called me the next day and they told me, no, this 4 or 5 hours is not sufficient. We need an entire day. So I said, fine. This year, I did the entire day. And this year, the things that we did, the first thing, this year, my entire focus was on the throat center. I told all the participants, forget whatever you designs you have, forget it, everything. Just focus on that one square. Brown, white doesn't matter. Just focus there. So my entire community meet this year was focused around the throat. And because it was around the throat center, so during the first half of the day, what I did, I went there the day before the place that I have booked for this event. I went there and I arranged the chairs. And fortunately, I had one participant who was a reflector. So I put her sit in the center, then half circle projectors, then another half circle, half part pure generator, this part manifesting generators, and then three manifestors I had who will sitting facing to all this crowd. This is how I made the sitting arrangements. And when the participant reached, at the venue. We just offered them something to drink, maybe a tea, coffee, or lemon water, something. And then we asked them, now let's go to the place in the conference room. So when the chairs were all arranged properly, and I asked them to sit according to their type. And I told them that for this entire part, I recommend everybody to close your eyes and just listen to what I'm saying. And I started talking about the throat center, that the importance of throat, the gearbox concept, or the most complex of all this, that so many things point wise. And then I started talking about the breathing patterns of the different types, that how they are designed to breathe and how it all works. And when I was curating that stuff before this community meet, I am into music, like I love music. So, and before human design, I was into all sort of this meditative practices. So I had that. I know I have that taste for music. And when I was studying the reflector way of breathing, my mind started suggesting me that how about adding this theme or this kind of a music track to this. So then what I did, I curated music tracks type wise, and the notes that I was preparing for this community meet, actually I have written there, now play track 1, this, now after few points play track 2, and I did that. So if I'm talking about the reflector process, which is very smooth, very subtle, so the music track was a harmony which was sounding subtle to the ears. We began with the reflectors. After reflectors, the two different types of breathing patterns of projectors, and how the projector breathing is, is designed to dance with the breathing of the other. So the music track that I curated for that, there was a violin and there was a female voice. There was a complete synchronicity of them. And so after these two, then I told them that, guys, now we are entering into the sacral realm. And it was just a blast. It was all flute and percussion and on. So for generators, for manifesting generators, and then at the last, the manifestors. The intensity and the music and everything was just going up, up, up. And after the session, literally, the manifestors told me that when you were playing or when you were explaining about the reflector's breath, projector's breath, generator and manifesting generator breath, we were not able to resonate. We were not like feeling anything. Yeah, the music was good, but we were not feeling anything. But the moment you started with the manifestor process, for the first time, we realized what impact is. Then the manifesting generators also said the same thing. Each type told me the same thing. That when you started explaining us our breathing patterns, and the music was associating with that. And then in the second half, now this was the first half, and then for the lunch, then what I did, I prepared one printout. I guess I have it here, like this. Now in this, there is this name, type, inner authority, profile, and determination. So what I did, I made that list. It was with me, and before the lunchtime, I went. Some of them they knew their determination. Most of them were not aware. So I told them, see, based on design, this is how it is. Do you feel comfortable just doing the experiment? Almost most of them were like, okay with it. So this year, we made them eat according to their determinations as well. And one guy was sitting and eating, and I went to him, nervous eating, and I told him that, it's really healthy for your body if you eat while walking. So would you like to play with that? Would you like to experiment? He said, why not? And he was a kind of a bulky guy. And he did that experiment. And I asked him after 2 hours that, how are you feeling? And he said, today for the first time, I am not feeling sleepy after eating. So this year, even there were kids, and we asked the parents also, including my own kids, that eat according to your design. So this year we did that. So first half was the breathing, second was eating. Anyway, you were going to eat, but eating by design. And then in the second half, I talked about the interpersonal aspects of all the 12 profiles. And then I clubbed it together. I discussed with them that, see, the breathing, because it is associated with your throat, and because the throat is responsible for the reality of your life, it helps to transcend, or it helps to transform your own relationship with you. But that's not it. We are humans. So how your profile is designed for interpersonal relationships. And then we discussed about all the 12 profiles, that only interpersonal points, nothing personal, only interpersonal, that how these 1-3s are designed for their interpersonal things, or 5-1, 2-4, 3-6, all 1-4, 4-1s, 5-2. And because, and during that experiment, what I did, I made them sit according to their profiles. So it was very easy for me then to discuss and help them to understand that what I'm talking. So all the 1-3s were in the first line. Then 2-4s, likewise. And when I was talking about the 5-1, and there was this point with respect to interpersonal aspect of 5-1, is that they want to make them presentable. 5-1s, they always like that. They just want to make them presentable. And so I asked all other guys that from each table, I would recommend to send one representative and just check table number 5.1. And literally, all the 5-1s there is, sitting there. Even my own youngest child, he's just 7 years old. But for that day also, he had a new shirt, new jeans, this, that. Everybody on that table was beautifully decorated compared to rest of the entire hall. There was one girl who was having a good makeup, subtle but very good, nothing bulky. Then the husband was 5-1 and his wife was, I don't remember, maybe 3-5 something. And then she told me, when I said this, then she told me that this guy has bought a new shirt for today's event. And then I told her, how about respecting that instead of complaining about it? Because that's how he is designed for interpersonal relations. He loves to do that. Let's allow him. This is how we did that part. So it was heavily interactive. For 6th line profile, how the projection works and why we say that they are far ahead of the time, I actually asked 6th line profile people to come and stand in front of the group, because most of them were not even knowing the others. And then I asked every participant that, look at their face and tell me, do you feel something? And they said, yeah, we feel that this person is more full of wisdom than we all are. They actually felt it. It was not I was teaching them theoretical. Then I told them that this is the 6th line process, this, that, blah, blah, blah. So this is what I did this year. Of course, in the entire room, there were different human design quotes and posters. All of the things were there, event point of view. But this year I wanted to have a live music, which I couldn't manage, but maybe next time, because I feel that the single individual activation can resonate to music like anything. So I just wanted to have that experiment. But yeah, apart from that, this time, And then I told my wife that this year still I am still making it formal. Next year it is going to be completely different. Informal. I don't want anybody to sit on chair next time. So that's my experience of these two community mates.
A little bit like an immersion for a part.
Yeah.
Wow. I have a very general question. Can I ask a general question?
Please, please.
Because I mean, if you go to international human design websites and see just the professionals, you see that in the bigger countries we have a lot of professionals, but India is very interesting in this sense because you have like billion of people, but you just have couple
Yep.
people, and most of them are not even that seen. So my question is generally also because I have a very special place in my heart and in my biography with India. That's where my spiritual journey started.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I lived in India for a long time as well. And you know, seeing that for you being a pioneer and bring a nine-centered awareness to the world, which is so deeply imprinted with seven chakra consciousness, it is not only religion, it is not only, you know, some practice, it is literally a place that vibrates seven chakra world in every way. So yeah, I would love to hear how really your work is accepted in India, and how do you face some kind of frictions around this topic?
When it comes to facing or experiencing frictions, I would say no. And the reason is because the cultural conditioning. A normal household people are aware with respect to the spiritual aspects of life. So whenever there is something new, they are okay with it. They say, yeah, we know so many things. This is something new. And I don't correct them at that point. But when they come to me, and during the discussions, when they get to hear this, you know, the sharp side of me, I am heavily defined in Ajna as well as I'm like 1034.
And the charisma
So,
channel.
no, I don't have charisma. I have 1034, 5734, that.
Yeah, not the okay, almost.
But I have 11 and 17, both the channels from Ajna to throat.
Okay.
So I
So
am
you know
logical
how
as
to
well as
convince.
abstract at the same time. Yeah. And then I am 5818 and 2838. So I'm here to correct. Yeah. So I am here to correct. And when I begin this during the workshop or during one-to-one, then I present my views that these gurus, these systems, they are not helping you. And then they have fear. Because in India, it's like, oh my God, what are you saying? And then most of them, they have asked me that, don't you believe in God? I said, I don't have to believe in God because look at me. And they're like, why look at you? And then I told them, look at me. This is me, God manifested. You want to see your God? And they said, yes. And go and stand in front of a mirror. Don't find it there in the temples. And if you cannot see in your own awareness the beauty of your existence, what is the point you spending money and going to the temples? You're wasting their time. What answer will you give if at all there is a God up waiting for you? So then they start getting it, the sharpness of human design. Most of them, 90% of them, before initiating their journeys into human design, they had guilt because they were not able to perform the sadhana or the meditation as recommended by the gurus. So they were full of guilt. After human design, most of the practices have been stopped. But even now, most of them, some of them are the followers of Sri Ravi Shankar. So when they went to see Sri Ravi Shankar ji, and when he looked at them, he said, "It seems that your sadhana is going wonderfully good." And the reality was, this guy has not doing any sadhana from past 6 months because of after human design reading. And then they came to me and then they told me that I was not doing sadhana, but how come Guruji understood? And then I told him that if that guy has the eyes to see, he can see the energy frequencies that are shifting in you. Meditation has nothing to do with if you are defined there in your head or ajna, forget about it. Your meditativeness means something different. Could be music, could be anything based on your design. That's okay. Based on your inner authority, that's okay. That doesn't mean that you are useless. So from that point of view, more than 95% people understood spirituality in their uniqueness. It's not that they have started hating anything. And now what happens is, if someone else in their life is being too adamant about his own views or perspective, then they say to him, or then they recommend to him, go and meet this guy once and then we'll talk. And apart from that, because India is a land where we had J. Krishnamurti or Osho, such people, so the culture is open for rebelliousness. So I don't find any kind of friction, even within the society. I myself, I belong to a Hindu Brahmin family, but there is no resistance. And the reason why there is no resistance, because I am not forcing it on anybody else. I am asking them, if it is part of your journey, just use your inner authority and experience the life. Doesn't matter whether it is God or not. So I am not experiencing friction there. I am experiencing surprises though. People are surprised, shocked, chaotic. You know, I love to make their life more chaotic, so that they will listen. You know, so yeah. Rather, I enjoy that. I enjoy that.
Beautiful,
And because I'm 1-3,
beautiful.
I love to speak hard. I don't
Straight to
believe
the
in
point.
pampering unnecessarily.
No
Yeah.
bullshit.
There is no point pampering people. There is no point. Because it is because of the pampering nature they have been, you know, suffering. And I in my experience, I believe that there is no need of suffering as well. There's absolutely no need. And there cannot be any subtle way to tell someone about their ignorance. It has to be clear. And I'm doing that, and there is no friction for me in India. And
No,
slowly,
I get,
people are getting it.
yeah. I get this part of what you're saying. I'm a 1-3 myself, so
Straight to the
no,
point.
no walking around. Yeah,
No. Because I have already burnt my fingers doing that. So when I'm coming straight to the point, it is not theoretically I'm coming straight to the point. I have burnt my fingers, so I know this doesn't work. So yeah.
And what do you mean when you say you burned the fingers? You want to share some example?
My life is a roller coaster. Is huge roller coaster. I mean, when it comes to education, career. I joined one banking institution, and after 6 months, I felt that I'm not learning something new. So I asked my manager that is it okay? Would you give me maybe holiday for maybe a month, because I want to go and learn Oracle. He said, okay, fine, as long as you're completing your targets, I don't mind. So, and I was into marketing and sales then. I achieved my target. I have achieved my target so much that our branch was ranked second in the entire western region of India, as far as business was concerned, earning money. And on a specific, and 2 to 3 months before, I asked my manager this, and I told him that once you say yes, I'm going to pay, and the fees were very huge. He said, no, pay fees and I'll let you go. As per the plan and the discussion, I went. And 3 days back, 3 days after, I got a call from the assistant vice president of the bank asking me to report to the duty immediately. And I told straight away to him that I cannot. And then he said, you are denying AVP's order. I said, it is not about AVP. It is about what I talked and discussed with your own manager. So if you want anybody to report to you, ask my manager to report to you, but not to me. I'm not coming because... And after my course, I straight away went back and I resigned. So me resigning from my job was nothing shocking to my family. And so many things. My own business, my job, different. There were almost manufacturing, services, banking, media, education, IT.
So how did you meet
6.
human design?
So after all this trial and error, I guess my magnetic monopole must have sent something. Guys, now please send something. Otherwise, this guy is really creating havoc here. There was one person, and he went to Rishikesh, Haridwar Rishikesh, and he met one lady there. She was from Israel. She asked him about human design because she herself was a guide. That fellow met with my father. And for holidays, I went back to my home, and that fellow asked my father that, uncle, do you know or have you heard about human design? Because our family is into astrology, so Vedic astrology. So he felt that, yeah, he must be knowing. So he asked my father, and my father said, I have not heard about it, but my son must have heard about it. So he came back to home, and then he asked me, have you heard about human design? And I corrected him there. I said, are you saying design thinking? He said, no, human design. And I remember that moment. Because by then I left my job. I was not doing anything. I was just sitting and trying to process that what is happening with my life. And so I was sitting like this, and he asked me, have you heard about human design? And my body was like this. What? This entire shit. And then for that entire night, I was with my laptop. And then I contacted that teacher. Fortunately, then she was in India. I went there. I had no money. I borrowed it. I went there. Straight 2 to 3 days. 14, 16, 17 hours lectures. Straight. LYD. Then foundation reading. And during my LYD, when I was going there, I got a call from somebody else, and they asked me that, we are organizing one parenting camp where more than 100 parent and families are going to be present. And we would love you to come and deliver some speech or something, because we know that you are going to talk something new. And I was going for my LYD, and I said, why not? And then he asked me, can you tell me the topic? And I told him, I will take a workshop on human design. Then I went for my LYD. And on the second last day, I told my teacher that, can I tell you something? And she said, yeah. And I told her that after 4 days, I have to go to another city and conduct a workshop there on human design. And she was like, what? Are you crazy? And I said, yeah, but I'm going to take that. And on the next day, she told me that because of you, for the first time, I couldn't sleep. I couldn't sleep. How can you do that? I mean, you yourself is learning it now, and you're telling me that you're going to, discuss about this concept with hundreds of people at one time. And then I told her, see, the thing is, India It's a largely populated country. Moreover, the way people are living their life is by default miserable. By now, they have nothing to lose. Even if I do this experiment and something goes wrong, they will not even notice. I am willing to take that risk. And then she was like, before going, read this, before going, at least go through this, you'll understand. So that, what if they ask you a question? I said, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I'm born and brought up in India. I can answer anything. That's not a problem. With my definition, I can manage. I went there. Everything was wonderful. There was no problem. But yeah, that's how I was always up for doing experiments. Always like, let's do it. What will happen? Let's see.
Oh, wow. So straight, you started studying and teaching and studying through teaching, basically. And
Yeah,
so
that's my
for
design.
you, it's very
That's my
experiential.
design. Studying for a complete experiential. I mean, because I cannot memorize the things that I read. I cannot re-watch the same sessions. That I'm aware of. I know that I cannot. So the only way for me is pay attention while learning something. Take one point. My mind picks one point at a time. I pick that point, and then I straight away declare a workshop or straight away start using that with people. Straight away. I engage with them actually, and then we see what is happening. What is happening. So yeah, I would say it's straight experiential.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Wow, what a story.
Yeah.
Wow. So now it would be good to see what we can do together and co-create together, because I assume that it would be very interesting, for you to feel yourself in the context of the bigger human design community. And we have people literally from all over the world presenting the knowledge through their unique crystals.
Yep.
And yeah, so we were thinking to invite you to the online participation this time.
Yeah.
Who knows, maybe next time we're gonna also do the live. I'm sure you could do amazing things also in the aura.
Yep.
Yeah. And yeah, Veronica, you want to add something?
So did you actually see the festival, or did you hear more about it, or shall we?
I heard about it, and even Pavaka mentioned, but in detail, I haven't. I mean, step by step, or how you guys are actually conducting that I'm not aware of.
So shall I give you a little bit more detail?
Yeah.
Okay, so Julia already mentioned where it came from, but what it developed into, it became big, very big. So the whole idea is that we make a hybrid event. So it is at the same time live in Sofia, Bulgaria, and at the same time it's online. So it's for 6 days in Sofia, and we're meeting in Aura for different lectures and workshops and bodying workshops. We have very interesting workshops and lectures from different teachers and facilitators. We even have like a theater play. It's going to be 5-day work. So it's lectures in the morning, but we have 2 halls, the main hall, and then we have a smaller one for 20 people. And so we're going to have, like, for instance, theater workshop during 5 days. And at the end of the 5th day, people are going to make a theater play for us. And it's on the 16 Godheads, how actually it's changing from the godheads of the Cross of Planning to the godheads of the Sleeping Phoenix, so we can really see it. We have also sensual labyrinth, which is so first the lecture on the 4 transformations, so people can hear their cognition, and then a sensual labyrinth, so that they can really experience and have their senses stimulated. We have a human design immersion, like the Marianne type from her student, and all those kinds of things. Basically, we're going through all the lectures are really interesting. We're going through gonna touch almost every topic in human design. We're gonna conduct also group experiments, BG5, like we're gonna try with functional pentas. These functional pentas have to compete against each other and put non-penta people in penta and all kinds of those kinds of things during the live event. And we're going to live stream the lecture part. So maybe also some workshops, which makes sense. And so here comes the hybrid part, because the online, you can see what's going on in the live event, but also we're going to have lecturers and facilitators from all around the globe. So we're going to have a 24-hour, 6-day human design marathon nonstop. So whenever you plug in into your Zoom account, there is something human design related, like, because we're going to have teachers from Australia, right, Canada, America. We really we're happy to have also from India, from the entire globe. So we can really connect via the neutrino. It cannot be live. So with one ticket online, you're going to get access to all of that. So we have like 17 lecturers online, live in Sofia coming. And we have like the idea 20 plus people online. And afterwards, so you also get all the recordings for some limited time, maybe 3 months or something. We're still deciding. So basically, if you were on the live event, afterwards, you can continue being in the spirit of the festival, listening to all the online lecturers. So that's the whole...
Wonderful.
Yeah. That's our...
So it's a complete buffet of everything about human design, and you just pick what you feel like and take the experience and learn from it. Wonderful. I love the concept.
And the teachers, we are weaving the teachers of the first wave who's been actually with Ra for years, and they've been directly conditioned with that frequency.
Right.
And we have like a super young people, like just LYD guides, but who are very charismatic and love to bring like the new things in the system, but keep it clean, not changing the system, not like trying to upgrade it, but rather adjusting it to our times. So that's kind of, and that's a very strict vision that we have, that we only invite people who got the education, proper education.
Get your tickets today. See you soon.